All right, we're here at the 107th PGA Championship with Viktor Hovland. We're actually going to start with some questions in Norwegian. Juan?
So, Victor, it looks like this is this time of the year when people start realizing again how good you are, no? And when the season starts getting better, no? Tell me about your cycle and how you come into this week, no? So.
Nei, jeg vet ikke helt om det. Det er jo veldig tilfeldig når man spiller bra og når man spiller dårlig egentlig. Men ja, jeg liker jo å tro at nå som de store turneringene begynner å ta fatt, så er det jo nice at formen begynner å komme litt på plass. Skulle gjerne spilt litt bedre på trening og i de tidligere turneringene her, men det er mye som er bra, men det er noe igjen som sitter som gjør det litt tøft for meg å prestere på det nivået jeg har lyst til å prestere. Men du vet aldri, plutselig så skimter jeg til denne uka og spiller veldig bra.
So last year it was kind of the first time that all the big changes you're working on started like giving fruit, no? I mean, and working for you at the PGA here, no? And you finished strong here. So is that all consolidated? All these changes working on, or are you still working on some things?
Jeg jobber fortsatt med ting. Det var mer det var litt mer et unntak i fjor at jeg spilte veldig bra i fjor. Og det egentlig viser jo hva jeg er god for, men jeg skulle gjerne ha litt mer hjelp fra det tekniske biten og vite hvor ballen går i litt høyere grad. Det blir litt lettere for meg da, som en golfspiller å prøve å få ballen i hullet når jeg kan forutse hvor ballen ender opp. Men når ballen går litt høyre og venstre, så blir det mye tilfeldigheter. Så jeg har fortsatt litt å jobbe på, men jeg vet fortsatt hva jeg er god for, og selv om det er en veldig tøff bane og en av de største turneringene vi spiller, så vet jeg at jeg kan likevel spille veldig bra golf.
And the last thing is kind of your memories of playing in Qualholo, PGA Tour, and other events here, and how different do you think it will play this week as a PGA Championship, no?
Ja, vi har jo hatt veldig mye regn de siste dagene her nå, så det spilles veldig langt fra tid. I tillegg så har de gjort par hull litt lenger i tillegg, så driving blir utrolig viktig. Ikke bare må du slå rett, det er jo ikke den trangeste banen fra tid, men når du har så lange hull, så må du slå langt og rett fra tid. Også i tillegg må de lange hjernene være på plass. I tillegg til de grinene, selv om det har vært så mye regn som har kommet ned, så spretter de fortsatt, og grinene er veldig raske, så det gjelder å ha kontroll på innspillet i tillegg. Så ja, det blir langspillet må sitte denne uka.
Thank you.
All right, now back to English. We'll start with Alex on 12 and then number 2.
Hey, Victor, you mentioned with all the swing changes you've been going through, after the win at Valspar, you were impressed you could get it to the wire, maybe even a little bit surprised you were able to win under those circumstances. This week, would you have that same level of surprise if you were to win this week?
Yeah, there'll definitely be some of that left in there because I'm still not entirely happy with where I'm at. What I'm happy about is the progress that I've made since, right before the Valspar and even since the Valspar. I think I'm definitely trending in the right direction, but there's still just some stuff left in there that just doesn't allow me to play to the level that I want to play at. But, at the Valspar, I proved to myself with even worse ball striking that I can still be competitive, and I think the tournament here last year was also another proof of that. So yeah, I do beat myself down with kind of where I'm at technically, and it's just it's not fun when you're out there trying to predict a certain golf shot and the ball flight does the opposite. But even despite that, I don't doubt my abilities to get the ball in the hole. So we'll see what happens this week.
Victor, when you have a move or position in your swing that you know is the one you want to be in, but it just feels weird, like what's the process for like rewiring those feels? Like how do you make it feel a little better and eventually good?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Feel is just so subjective, and feels change all the time. I can still rely on the same feels right now as I used to, but the feels now have changed. So I think I wire my brain to new feels if I see that the ball is doing what I want it to do. If I'm seeing objectively good results, it's easy to get over the weirdness of how it feels. So I do kind of try to separate what I feel and what the ball is objectively doing, because that's ultimately what we're doing. We're trying to play good golf, and yeah, so just trying to divorce that, but at the same time relying on some of that, because that is a feel game. If you can't equate your feels to a good shot, then that's also no good. So.
And is it just kind of like a reps thing? Like, do you just see enough good results with a weird feel that it just starts matching up eventually? Or?
Some of it is reps, but it's you have to get to the root cause of something. And I've just had a move in my golf swing for the past 5-6 years that's just been so effortless, and it's been very easy to predict. And now suddenly the last couple of years it hasn't been doing that. So I have to continue to kind of figure out what exactly is the mechanism or the way to train that old move back in there so I can predict where the ball is going to go again. So it's not necessarily a reps thing, because you're just ingraining the movement that you already have even deeper. So you kind of have to, deconstruct it in a way.
All right, we'll go to Jim on 3.
Viktor, did you just register today? And if so, where have you been since you left the tournament last week?
Yeah, I still haven't registered, so I'm about to do that after this press conference. Yeah, I've just been practicing.
All right, we'll go to number 10.
Hey, Viktor. We've seen you grinding late out there a couple nights. Just want to know how you're feeling. What's one aspect that you're really trying to focus on this week going into it?
Yeah, this week is obviously it's a big driving week. The course is so long, fairways are wet. You're going to have to drive it long and straight. And driving is usually the best part of my game, but recently it's been tough for me. I try to go back to my old reliant fade off the tee. And when I do that, because of just how the club is moving, it's just not allowing me to do that. And I'm hitting a lot of double crosses, missing a lot to the left, which for me is, I can kind of deal with an overcut, but when the ball is drawing to the left, and sometimes when it's not doing that, it's starting right and going right, that's a tough place for me to be. So I just got to get to the bottom of that. And if I can get the ball consistently in the fairway off the tee, even though I don't feel amazing, my iron play has been pretty solid this year, so I can still get the ball in the hole.
All right, we'll go to 1 on 8.
So let's try in English now. So about the changes, and I feel like the story is, when do you stop doing changes? Are you always working on some small or bigger changes? No? So,
I mean, you're always changing something, whether you're doing it consciously or unconsciously.
Yeah.
I think I've just been a little bit more vocal about it. So people ask me all the time, it's like, why are you always changing? Like, you can ask any guy in the field here, what are you working on this week? And they're going to have an answer for you. Obviously, I would like the changes to be less complicated. But when I'm not in the place where I need to be, you have to make changes to get to the place where you want to be, and then you change less things. Yeah. I think I've been a little bit too flippant maybe in the past of exploring too many areas in trying to get better. But as I've alluded to in the past, is that the majority of times I've done that, I've actually gotten better. And I am almost addicted in a way to try to get better, because it's worked out so well for me in my career. But in this place where I'm at, there's just a couple key pieces that are preventing me from playing my best golf. So I'm not content with playing the way that I am right now, so I have to make changes. That's just how it goes.
Yeah. And one other thing is, last year you got really close, no? And so what would be that extra thing that you would need to get to the top, no? That didn't work last year?
Yeah, I mean, you can frame it like that. I framed kind of last year as a huge positive, because I think, although I shouldn't have probably admitted that either, but I almost didn't play last year, and I almost won the tournament. So it's like, I look at that as a huge win. I almost won a major championship without feeling good about my game at all. So I don't look at that as like, man, I'm lacking a bunch of stuff. I mean, if I can get the rudimentary part of the game back to where it should be, I don't doubt my abilities to win a golf tournament. And so that's why I'm focusing solely on getting back to where I've been before, because I'm a lot more mature, I'm a lot more experienced, and I have more tools in my arsenal now to compete at these big events.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, we'll go back down here to 3.
Hey, Hovland, I have a couple for you. In terms of making changes, is there a point or a feeling that you'll get that will take playing the week of a green light to a red light?
Say that one more time.
Like when you're making changes and you're trying to grab the feel and you're like, I don't know if I want to play this week or if I do. Is there a point or a feeling where you say it's not a green light this week to play?
Doesn't quite work like that. I mean, there's some tournaments where, major championships are, you don't skip those events, but it gets to a point where, like, man, it just doesn't feel like you're able to compete. And if you're not able to compete, at least for me, I don't want to be out there and play. You know, I'm not trying to just grind to barely make the cut. That's not fun. I'd rather spend that week to try to get better because, you know, to play your best golf, you can't think about a bunch of mechanics. You have to go out there and let your unconscious swing just do what it's supposed to do. But if that ball is going all over the place, you know, that's tough. I'd rather be at home and try to figure that out. And then when I feel ready, I'll play a tournament. That's just kind of how my mind works.
And then looking at the course, the final stretch, the Green Mile, is really difficult. What makes it that way?
It's just long. 16 is just a really long hole, but it's pretty generous off the tee, and even the green is pretty big. But 17 is really hard hole with the water all along the left side, and if they have the tee boxes all the way back, I mean, you're hitting a 5 or 4 iron, and even though you got room to the right, there's a little slope down there that's a difficult up and down, and then obviously 18, you can't hit it right, you can't hit it left, and even if you hit it in the fairway, you know, it's a pretty difficult second shot as well. So it just forces you to hit good shots. This course doesn't allow you to hide.
All right, thank you, Victor. Appreciate it.